also excited for us to talk about these numbers. How about Lilo and Stitch, man?
I mean, come on now.
I mean, holy moly, what a number it did, and I don't even know what it wound up doing yesterday, or what it's going to wind up doing today, rather.
Yeah.
Because it's still, everybody has off today. So rather than cannibalizing each other, Disney's live action Lilo, Stitch, and Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning have both taken the box office by storm. The result is now the best. I heard that grunt, and I think I'm sharing that with you. The result is the best Memorial Day weekend ever at the domestic box office, with all movies grossing over $322 million, beating the previous record of $314 million set in 2013. Disney is the king with Lilo and Stitch, grossing 56.3 through the first 3 days overseas, while domestically it has gone way past expectations, up to 142 to 144 for the 3-day, and headed towards a 175 to 180 million for the 4-day. Over at Paramount, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is doing the franchise proud, with the film domestically tracking for 63 million 3-day at a 77 million 4-day opening weekend haul, beating the 61 million start of Mission Impossible: Fallout. Overseas numbers are trickier because the film opened last Saturday in multiple markets. Thus, its overseas gross is up to 75.9 million through Friday. Rounding out the domestic top 5 are Final Destination: Bloodlines, Thunderbolts, Sinners, which all scored 24 million, 11.5 million, and 11 million, respectively, for the 4-day holiday. So if you're bringing up, again, box office mojo here, Lilo and Stitch at 145, Mission Impossible 63, 19.7. Let's see, Lilo and Stitch thus far, just already, has now grossed 341 million over just this weekend alone. So, yeah, this is big news for Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, massive. Look, they're the top seller of merchandise, or one of the top sellers of merchandise over on the Disney side of things. So there's a lot of love for this franchise, a lot of love for this adaptation, and I thought it was a fun movie. Is it the gangbusters and great and really well written, all of that? No, but it's very, very enjoyable. I thought it was a good live action adaptation. I'm not an addict to the animated film, so I went in kind of cold to see this movie and thoroughly enjoy it. So I'm not surprised, because there's already such a massive built-in fan base for Lilo and Stitch, that it did so well. And look at how much that Lion King movie made, 1.6 billion.
And it didn't do Lion King. I was going to say
the Lion
Mufasa.
King.
Even Mufasa, even though it didn't start strong, kept making money. John, I've said it a million times. There is nothing, as a dad, there is nothing for kids to see in the theater right now. And Minecraft was the last thing. And with all the craziness that was going on there still, and that movie still almost made $1 billion, there's nothing that families can go and see. This is something families can go and see. And Sam, who never goes to the movies, was like, I'm taking my daughter to go see Lilo and Stitch. She went to go see Lilo and Stitch with her daughter. They went because her daughter grew up with the movie. I was with you. I had never actually seen the original.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to go in fresh, not knowing. I liked the movie a lot. I thought it was warm. I thought the little girl was fantastic.
Yes, she was.
I just watched the original. I put the reaction to the movie up today, actually, with Tina. She had never seen it either. I'm always excited to talk about Trade Coffee. Coffee's not just a drink. Honestly, it's like a ritual. It's a lifeline. It's the bridge between when you're half asleep and you're ready to just conquer the day. I know it is for me. And if it is that essential, why do you want to settle for anything less than extraordinary? That's where Trade comes in. I love Trade so much. It is part of my routine every morning. It is the #1 U.S. coffee destination. It brings you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Trade's prices are on par with grocery store brands, but the quality, though, for me, it's next level. Plus, you are supporting local roasters. It really is a win-win. And if you're headed out on summer vacation, with Trade subscription flexibility, you can pause it, you can shift delivery when you're away, and resume when you're home, ensuring that you're going to get the coffee. I swear by Trade Coffee, guys. You know I do. If you've been watching my show long enough, you know that I can't shut up about Trade Coffee. I love them. I love the different qualities. I love the quantity. I love the taste. I love the smell of it. I love Trade Coffee. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/Christian. That is a deal. That is drinktrade, TRADE.com/Christian. Get 50% off for your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/Christian. There was a lot of things that I liked that they changed. There was a lot of, or added, I should say. There are some things that they, like, I think that, are you pretty familiar with both?
Yeah.
the Galifianakis stuff, what they did with the character, I wish they would have kept what they did with him in the original.
Right.
I think it worked better. But either way, I really liked what they did overall. That was one of the best adaptations they probably have done.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of the disaster that was Snow White overall. What Snow White did.
Yeah.
Disney's got to be pretty happy right now.
I think so. And, they're in a position now. I think they've already crossed a certain amount here overall for the year. I think they're ahead now, box office wise. So that's another positive for the box office numbers. And then you throw in the Mission Impossible stuff. I mean, a lot of people, I know the critics liked it, but there was some mixed reviews online, some very ardent critics who were not liking it at all. But the fact that it overcame all of that to have the best opening weekend against a juggernaut, best opening weekend in the franchise against a juggernaut like Lilo and Stitch, I think that speaks volumes about Mission Impossible as well. Now, will it hold on? Will it have legs? I don't know, but Lilo and Stitch, clearly that's $1 billion movie. That's absolutely, might even by the next 2 to 3 weeks before the July madness begins, it will have probably crossed $1 billion.
Almost 400 million already.
Yeah.
It's almost 400. And after today, what it's going to make, I think Mission Impossible is in trouble, to be honest.
No, you mean overall? Yeah, coming down.
This report, I think this report's misleading.
Okay.
I think the movie cost almost $400 million to make.
Yes,
that's the difference. With did it do well for an opening? Yeah, if it's a budget of $150 million, it's a great weekend.
Right,
$400 million. And people are, the reason why. I don't care about the reason why. All the reason why is it could make total sense. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't change the fact that it costs $400 million.
Yeah.
And when you have $400 million, you have to make at least 800 to break even.
Yeah.
So now is Mission Impossible going to make 800 million with all this other stuff coming out? It is not. It's too long. There's no way. It's good. And it's not great. It's good. It's a fun movie to see in the movie theater for sure. Yeah. And I recommend to people, if you're going to see it, you should see it in the theater because it is the reason you go to the movies. There's no doubt. But it's not it's got problems coming up because the drop off in the next week, and then you have Ballerina coming out. You have all these different movies that could compete with you. I mean, right now, again, let me do of what's coming out on the I think following week. Like it's not gonna the numbers of the numbers, like you said, Lilo and Stitch. You're not going to have competition with Karate Kid Legends. It'll maybe chip a little bit out of it, but
I don't know, man. That's already getting some
destroyed.
Reaction.
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
You are? Yeah. I'm waiting till Wednesday because it comes out right down the street. So it's closer to just go on Wednesday.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. Cobra Kai fans shut but my point is, it's not really going to do much damage to Mission Impossible.
No. I mean, I wonder how Train Your Dragon is going to do, which is on June 13th.
Yes.
Is that going to affect some of the Lilo Stitch numbers or some?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Because that's another movie that's going to be the family movies are going to be running the roost, if you will, by June 13th. That and I think it's even going to, because of that, it's going to start to shift Mission Impossible out of there even more so. Now, if it's just Lilo versus Mission Impossible, fine. But if it's How to Train Your Dragon plus Lilo, those two movies are going to be running the box office.
Right.
And then once you get to June 20th, 28 years later, again, a couple chunks out of Mission Impossible. June 27th, F1 will probably take some chunks out of it. So and then it's dead in the water once Jurassic World shows up on July 2nd. But it really has to make money, more money, and low drop-offs. Because look what happened to Thunderbolts. You and I both said Thunderbolts, it's all about week 2. Week 2 is not good for Thunderbolts.
Right. No matter how much they made the name change, it didn't do that well.
Didn't do it. 40 million. What is it? Made over 360 million so far, and it cost almost $200 million to make whatever too. So it's probably going to be a loss. But and they're done. They're not going to. I mean, they're not going to be able to make any kind of comeback now because we're in the thick of the summer season. And
people already forgot about the movie. Yeah, like it was run for 2 weeks, and then people are like already moving on mentally. Yeah,
100%. So it's Mission Impossible, and the length of the movie is going to hurt it because it's going to hurt it in how many theaters want to keep it going and sacrifice losing other movies. And Lilo and Stitch, what's it, hour 45 and out, get out of here. And that's another reason why it's totally effective. So I don't think it doesn't affect Tom Cruise at all because it's not a bad movie. The movie's good.
And Paramount's only on the hook for 50% of it. So it's not like they're going to take a huge bath on this one. I think there's a possibility that it could make 4 to 5, maybe by the end of its run, pushing it.
But that's not great.
The mixed reviews, I think, are gonna eventually sink it to the point where it won't make what it should make, right?
Did you like it?
Minecraft. Yeah, I really did enjoy it, but I'm also an, I'm wearing the hat. I'm also a Mission Impossible junkie, so I love this franchise. So for me,
So do I.
the film worked for me as a good callback to the stuff that went in the past, and then where we were going. I don't understand people who say it's a convoluted plot. It's not that difficult. Entity is an AI. He wants to stop the AI from taking over the world. It's really simple.
I
They
just
throw a
yeah,
lot
I,
of other stuff
yeah.
in
I just
that
think it's a little too bloated, to be honest.
yeah, I don't disagree with you. You could have cut 15, 20 minutes out of that movie. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it's bloated. And I think the same problem I had with the last Mission Impossible, I have with this one. When you look at how clever 3, 4, 5, and 6 are, this movie's not clever. It's just action stunts and it kind of goofs on itself at times, but it's not like it's about you go to the movie for the submarine scene and for the plane scene. That's why you go. You go for those two scenes and you will not be dissatisfied by those. But like as far as clever, it's just not. I've been waiting for like, oh, let's get back to that. Oh, okay. And then even the face thing wasn't there as much too. They always use it as a goof. But either way, the movie still had a nice opening for what it was.
It was like watching one of the old Star Trek films when they get to like 6, where it's like, this is just let's hang out with everybody and have some fun.
Yeah.
Whereas like the earlier installments were much more Mission Impossible, were much more tighter, leaner, and more intelligent in their approach. This was more just hanging out with people
It's hanging out with people and big set pieces. Let's blow some stuff up. Let's you're gonna watch Tom Cruise do some crazy shit. It's team dynamic, and it's so far fetched sometimes, but it's fun far fetched. And it is what it is. Now the other stuff that came out that weekend, or I should say, or this weekend as far as box office goes. Then you get Final Destination. I literally right before I stopped, before I started shooting with you, I just finished the reaction with Tina for Final Destination 5.
Nice. Oh, and yeah, that's a good one. I like 5. Yeah,
5 is good, and we watched because I told the story and tell you. So Ellis and I learned our lesson from that. Did I tell you that what we did? We walked out. We walked out, and it's funny when I was watching the end because I knew the twist. I had. It's been 14 years, whatever, but I was trying to figure out. First of all, I didn't remember hardly any of the movie. I remember the gymnast thing. I don't remember any of the movie. And then when there was there's one part that happens, and I'm like, I have 100% never seen this, and I didn't realize how early we left. And then something happens at the very, very end, and I was like, oh, okay. But either way, that movie, Final Destination, Bloodlines. $187 million so far.
Yeah.
What was, let's see, Bloodlines?
It's like I think it's the highest grossing already from the beginning, like the first couple of weekends, highest grossing Final Destination film.
The movie cost $50 million.
Yeah. Of course, it was on the screen. These aren't top tier acting talent that we have in this movie.
Did you see Bloodlines?
Yeah, I saw Bloodlines twice.
Oh, really? So you really like that?
I like that's my horror franchise.
Oh, okay.
Because I love the film.
Okay, so you really liked it.
Yeah, I liked the film. I thought it was a good film.
I heard it was good.
Not a great film, but I thought it was a good film.
Not gotta be better than 4. 4 was terrible.
4, The Final Destination is terrible.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
This one worked, but like the opening is what's the best part of this movie, and Tony Todd's cameo. Those are the best parts of this movie. I think for me, some of the acting was a little middling, and it didn't quite get to where it wanted to get to. But the kills were so much fun, especially the hospital one. Oh my God.
Don't tell me. So, okay, well, listen. What do you guys think of the box office here? So let us know. Were you surprised that Lilo and Stitch did the kind of money that it did? Do you think it'll make $1 billion? Were you surprised that Mission Impossible didn't do more? Do you think it was just fine? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know.